Yeah. Like I don't know, like my website's all about me and doing math, and my business name is the online math teacher. I don't know why he chose to work with me, but I'm like, I can teach that. Why not?
Mm,
And so I'm kind of excited for it.
yeah, that's great. And then Jenna Lee, what are you doing? You started the
Okay, so
question. I didn't even ask.
Mhm.
okay, so I'm preparing for the year two of my arithmetic program. But for this year, I'm just planning to focus on multiplication. So there. So I have prepared a 8 session multiplication workshop for the summer. And so far, 4 families have already showed their interest, but there are no final details yet. So that's why I'm really gearing up for it. I feel like I'm super busy. And this is a good problem to have.
Exactly. Because now people are starting to notice you.
Yes, that's right. And I feel like out of those 4 families, not everybody will push through, but it means that I am showing up. Like people know me, right? That's the most important part. So there.
Did
Mm,
So
they
I'm not.
find you because of social media posts?
Yes, yes. I'm just using Facebook really for my business. So everything that and referrals also I forgot. So Facebook and referrals from other tutors.
That's
yeah,
great.
because that's where it starts. Sometimes I know we all want it so organically, but sometimes the referrals help. And then once you do right by that person, now that person can be an ambassador to your business, and now that would be more of a word of mouth. And yeah, I mean, it takes so much time, and I know we want it to happen like this, and it's not going to. And I tell you guys, my first year was horrible. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was awful. I only had 4 students for the whole year, and I still had bills to pay, and I still, luckily enough, I saved enough, but still, things happen. And it is going to be like an ongoing process. So I mean, I'm really proud of each of you. I really am. And it's just a matter of just keep working, keep pushing. I know it feels like it's not moving anywhere, but it does. It really does. It does. Trust me. It trusts me. So for today, I just wanted to see like how you guys are doing, because there's some people are kind of like they're there, then they're disappearing. And, I just feel like if you guys are ever feeling stuck, like, don't hide. Like, oh, I don't want Audrey to yell at me. I'm not going to yell at you. Like, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to say I'm disappointed in you. Like, I just want to know, what can I do to better support you? That's all I really want to know. Like, what can I do to support? What can I do? Or maybe you can even sit and brainstorm and just be like, what is it that you need? But when people hide, I have a tendency like, hey, haven't seen you in a minute. How are you doing? Are you alive? What's going on? And some people respond, some people don't. Some people are like, I don't think this is for me. And I'm like, I know it's going to be a process. I know it's going to take some time. I know that there's going to be a lot of no's and you feel like giving up. But once you're about to give up, that's when you are closest to getting someone. And especially this time of year, like parents, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's my Google My Business, but I'm always getting someone, at least one person a day talking about, and they're not always on my ideal client. So please don't be like, oh my gosh, Audrey, you're amazing. No, this is not gloating. This is just people are calling and they're saying, or they're messaging me and asking, do you do in person? Quickly, I say no, because that's not my life. And if I do, it's going to be very expensive, because one, I don't know you. I don't want to get kidnapped because I'm too sweet for that. Um, And then two, sometimes they'll call and it won't be, they'll be like fourth grade, fifth grade. I don't know what's going on with fourth and fifth grade math. I don't know what's happening. Like these kids are starting to freak out and their parents are
I'll
like, I
take
don't
them.
know what to do. Of course,
Yeah.
I will pass them on. I will. Um, but some of them they like, oh, I want to be in the, I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're in the same state. Some people are like, oh, I want someone that's close by. You know, this is going to be online, right? Like, yeah, it doesn't matter. We're online. It doesn't matter. I know. Bless these parents. Bless them. Um, but if I keep getting more, I will definitely send some out. Okay. But then when I talk to them, I'm just like, some of them, I'm like, you're not serious enough. Like, you just want someone for like $20. And I'm like, no, no. Because you know, you have a nice little hellion and you want us to basically babysit your kid and just pass them. Like, no. But it seems like there are some people that are starting to tap in to tutoring around this time of year. So, hey, Jennifer, how are you?
Good. Sorry, I was on another training like Zoom call and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Today's Thursday. This week was weird with days. Like it started to go by really slow and then it went by really fast. So I don't know. Like my student teacher is doing her solo week this week.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, I've got so much time to do stuff, but I'm still getting nothing done. So yeah, it's one of those. So I apologize for being a few minutes late. How's everybody?
Fine.
Good.
You're doing
Good,
great.
Yeah.
good,
So,
good, good.
if anything, what are we, because I know Jenna Lee has something for the summer. Are we thinking about anything else for the summer for you guys, or you just want to use that as rebuilding? Talk to me about it. Sorry, I heard Jenna Lee. Michelle, what do you think?
Well, I would love to be busy this summer. So one of my new students, like the two kids, I'll be working on Microsoft products with them in pretty much like June, July, and a little bit of August. But no, I would love to be fully booked all summer long. I mean, and right now I'm not even close to being fully booked even during the year. But I'm hoping that there'll be a big push near the end of the summer for getting ready for back to school. And so I think I'm going to prepare to market for that. Kind of like, a last 2 weeks of summer crash course sort of program. Um, but I just, I don't know how much interest there is for tutoring in the summer. So I'm kind of, I'm not getting overly ambitious about what I can get.
But still put something out there.
Mm.
Still put something out there, even though you feel like I might not. You won't know until you put something out there. So like it could be just like if you want to think of you have your eighth graders, you can do almost like a high school prep because I'm starting to see a lot of students that are going into high school. They're just like, yeah, I want to keep things going and keep things fresh in their minds. So that might be something that will be, you can put something together easily, just grab like, basic going from verbal, word problems to algebraic expressions or equations. Of course, order of operations, that's definitely another one. And fractions, fractions, distributed property, like the essentials. Just hitting on those things, you don't have to go super deep. Just like hitting on those things, if you want to say, hey, this is going to be like a 6-week course, we're seeing each other like twice a week, that might be something that might kind of have some expectations. If you just want to do like 1 week, but it's going to be tough because of people's vacation days. Kids like to do sports and camps, but there may be a week or 2 weeks that they're not. There might be some schools that does what do you call it? Like summer reading packets. I know I have a couple of students that schools that does summer reading packets, and the kids never do it all throughout the summer. No, we hammer it out in like 2 days. And then I tell the kids, I'm like, all right, enjoy your summer. But they have that support, so now they can get it done sooner, and they like that. So then they remember you like, oh, okay, this is a person I can go to if I need assistance in the fall, which majority of the time is the situation. So seeing about summer package and seeing about maybe high school prep or even middle school prep, to really get with the essentials. So that might be like a suggestion. If you are going to promote something for the summer, it's going to be some kind of prep. And it's usually not going to start until maybe July, because most of them, I know we don't get out until like the last week of June in
Yeah,
Maryland.
same with us here. Yeah.
Okay. Because
But
Florida, they're out in like the
yeah.
next 2 weeks. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, and these students I think they're in Pennsylvania, they get out in either the end of May or the very beginning of June.
June.
Yeah.
So at least that'll be like, put something
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
If you get something hook, line, and sinker, that's awesome. If not, we're prepping for what is my push for the fall. So it's kind of like, let's take a look at what we're doing. So we're always kind of like trying to be a step ahead. Like, what is that push for the fall? How can I really get my stuff out there? Who have I talked to? Who have I worked with that could give me a review that I can start making posts and putting things out there? And Jennifer, as I'm not sure if you were here when I said that, I forgot on Tuesday. Well, you're going to be in class, but there'll be a repeat replay for Canva. So we're going to do like a couple of things on Canva, just do like simple posts, how to do it. So it's one of those like how-to sessions. So that will definitely be posted inside the group. And that was the other thing. Soon enough, I'm going to have to break away a little bit from Facebook, from our group. So I'm thinking by the end of this month, like June 1st, like the group, everything that we have, I'm going to close those little groups out and just focus on our new place, which,
Yeah. I noticed that you didn't post this meeting on the Wilo page.
yeah, it's posted.
Not
There's
where
two
I
of
could.
them.
There were events that were posted, but not this event. The collab workday and the Canva one were posted. But this one, I just happened to I just happened upon it when I looked at the Facebook group and watched your video. But it wasn't.
It wasn't
I
posted.
couldn't. Yeah.
Oh, that's why. It is, but it's under the founders. It's not under general. That's why.
Okay. I don't
Because
have that tab, or I couldn't. I don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll see if I can do that, because I thought I did, but
Okay.
apparently I did not.
Audrey, I am not sure if I'm already part of that group. Well, I send my email, but I don't know if I am already a member.
Okay. Let me check. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see you in here generally. I have Nitsa, I have
Yes.
Beth, and I have Michelle. All right, so I will
Okay.
work on this so I can make sure I
Yeah.
get you in there.
The
And
thing
if
the thing that I need to do is enter my email and then press the request to join, right? That's it.
right,
All right. Okay.
so
I
that
just did that. I got an error message at first, but now mine says that email has already requested to join. So I must.
Yes.
okay.
That's the same
So
situation with me.
Okay.
I have like a Terralyn, like I'm getting like I was getting like a couple other people's names that I didn't even recognize. So maybe
Mm.
that's what it was, like a Tara Lynn. I don't know who Tara Lynn is.
Do we get to screen the people? Like if we don't like them and they don't fit with us, we can kick them out.
Of
And
course.
we like interview.
Of course. That's why I have like that's why there's so much security here. No, but I don't
Yeah.
have it open to everyone. All right, I'm gonna have to play around with that. I don't want
Yeah.
to waste our time with that. Yeah, for me, it's like I don't just like what we have on Facebook, I don't just let any old person in here. Like I want to know if you are going to, I want everyone to at least feel comfortable. I know we're not all gonna love each other, but we're going to be cordial and be able to be supportive, and that's the whole thing. If anybody wants to be nasty and all that stuff, go kick rocks, because we're not having that here. We need to be in a place where we feel safe and be able to be open to talk about whatever we want to talk about, because I still love the idea that even Michelle said, like having a social hour. Like I would love to just be able to just everyone just bring whatever you want to bring, drink whatever you want to drink, and we'll just have like almost like a Zoom call and just be social and just talk about like what are some of the things, just life in general. Because life after divorce is funky. And just trying to get things together, and all of a sudden your hot water heater just decides to do its own thing, and then all of a sudden your roof is leaking, and you're like, okay, God, you're telling me something big is coming, because all of this stuff that's happening is some foolishness. And I'm going to say that as nicely as I can. um but like having a social hour, and it doesn't always have to be about business, we can still build each other up and still be able to connect. So yeah, I don't want anybody salty coming in here. Like I'm not using this. It's nice to have funds. It's nice to get money for people and because you're providing a service, but I'm not just trying to be money grubbing. I don't want to just be like have it completely open just for some random person to be like, "Oh, this is stupid." You don't have to be here. So
We
I
got your
do.
back. When just I love our group. I love our group. So I
Yeah,
just
just chilling and relaxing and
yeah.
how's this going and celebrating this, and I'm having a real hard time. I'm trying to figure this out. That's why I'm always saying, like, when I don't hear from people, I get worried. Like I take it personally, and I think I have to learn to adjust with that, but I get worried and I call or I send a message. And if I don't hear a message in the day, I'm sending another message. And I had to do that with one person. She's like, "Oh, I did get your first message." And I'm like, "All right, I just want to make sure that you're still alive. And how's it going?" She's like, "It's not going very well. I'm just really busy." And I understand, especially when you're transitioning from the classroom where people just tell you what to do to now you have to be responsible for what to do. It is a hard transition. Everyone makes it think that it's so simple, and it's not. It's draining, right? It's
That's why
draining.
I think I'm struggling so much, is because I'm overthinking everything, to make sure, like, do I have the right materials? Do I have the right platform? Do I have, like, how am I delivering? What should I be using? What should and I'm driving myself absolutely
Crazy.
nuts. And it's
Mhm.
weird because, like, in the classroom, it's just weird because I didn't always follow what I was supposed to do. Like that's what I was known for. I just kind of did my own thing. But I had something to go by and to
Mhm.
branch off of. So at least I had the foundation and I knew, okay, this is what I have to do. Now how I'm going to deliver that. Now I'm comfortable with this. I'm going to find things to supplement in my own way.
Mhm.
I feel like this is a lot of like reinventing the wheel in terms of online teaching.
Mhm.
Um, so, I'm always questioned and like my student teacher has been doing her solo week. So I've been, like looking for things like and just and I know I'm doing too much. I'm
Mhm.
thinking too much. Um, And it's hard. And I just want somebody to tell me, like, no, this is what you're going to use. This is what you're going to use. And then once I'm used to it, then I'm like, oh yeah, I can. Now I know
Then
what
you
to
can
do, and I
branch
know
out.
I can branch out. Yeah. So it is hard.
Exactly.
It is hard. And my wheels are going in 50,000 directions and I can't seem to shut it off. But
And that's
I
hard.
did put out a Google form, but I'm wondering that I had put it on my Facebook business page, and then I put a message, like a blurb on my regular page to say, if you or anybody you know are interested in possible virtual camp for your children, go to this. And I can share it if you want. Um, I I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, a lot of people shared it, a lot of people looked at it, but I didn't get any responses at all.
Mhm.
So I think I got to where I thought I was going to have a second student at the same age level, same grade level. And
Mhm.
that's when I started thinking, ooh, eventually I could possibly put those two together to save
Mhm.
some time and to save, that one did not pan out because that was New York City. I had a Zoom call, already, and then I saw it was from a parent, like a mom's group. And then I saw a lot of other people, like these young New York teachers. Oh, I'm right near there. I can go there. I can come after school every day. I can come here every day. All these like fun, like bubbly people. So I had talked to her first. We had set up a Zoom. I sent her the link. She said, I'm looking forward to meeting you. And I said, I do see that you have a lot of interest in in-person people.
Mhm.
And she said, yes. And she
Right.
said, and I do want to let you know that I have somebody coming this day. I to do a mock lesson. I had somebody coming this day. I have somebody coming this way. And basically, no matter how our meeting goes, if one of those in-person people works, that's where we're gonna go. So
Okay.
she's like, I don't want to waste your time. And I'm like, okay, then here's what we'll do. If one of the we'll cancel, and if one of those don't work out, then you can come to me. Because I'm like, I'm not going to
Okay.
waste an hour or whatever of my time, talking to you, talking to your
What?
child, and then have you say, no, we have somebody, else.
What?
But originally I started thinking groups, oh yeah, they're both at the same grade, I could put them together. And that's what made me think of the camp thing.
Everyone's talking about our Chromebooks. Oh, even your back. Because our backs are so
Okay.
soaked. Can't you put them under a tent or something? We don't have a tent.
Heidi,
Where
we
we
can
guys
hear
should
you.
go.
Can you mute?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I got you.
So do you want to
Okay, go
see? I
ahead,
mean, the
Jennifer.
form is really simple. I can share it here. I thought I pulled it up.
Yeah.
No, yeah, here it is. I mean, I just basically answer the questions below if you're interested in summer sessions for your child or children. And I didn't put price, I didn't put anything because I just was trying to collect information to see what they would be interested. Reading, entering grades 1 through 2, entry, and that's it. And then just I did writing, I did math. And then the length of time they'd be interested in, what weeks would the children be unavailable, what time of day was best, how many children would you be interested in if it's more than one, um, and then a preferred way that I could get back to them with information, whether it be email, phone, um, instant message, whatever.
Right.
So, but see, this is a big fat zero.
Let's see. When did you send that?
I posted this, and I could, I'd clearly repost it because now that we're getting into, um, closer to summer, and then people start panicking. Let me stop my share and see if I can go onto my business page. It wasn't that long ago, but it was long enough ago why am I not switching? Facebook is being stupid. Okay, here we go. I reached 100 followers on my business page. That was
Nice.
fun.
Good.
Why is this not sliding? I posted that on April 29th.
Okay. No, don't cringe because it's May. Right
I
now,
know.
parents are trying to figure out what are these kids doing? How are they doing currently in their classes?
True.
As I said, so my thing is keep every time you do like a post or something like, hey, don't forget for summer, I know you want to relax, but if your child is transitioning, going in, maybe not transitioning because everyone thinks it's something
Right.
else, but they're like, yes. I'm like,
And
no,
we can
not
not
help
that
helping
you
with
type
that.
of
too.
I am not helping with that. I am, you're on your own. You
You're
are
great with
on your
fabulousness.
own.
But if you are going into, say, the fourth grade, if you're going into the third grade, if you're going into the ninth grade, any kind of those, whatever, because I know you do
Yeah.
elementary, just like keep being in people's minds. Don't
Okay.
just say, okay, this didn't work that one time. That was April 29th. Believe it or not, it really wasn't that long ago.
Right.
It
And
was,
that's
what,
one
2
thing
weeks ago?
I tend to, like I said, I do too, like I do, like, oh, that didn't work. Let's try this. Like that did, and I need to stop
Give it
reinventing the wheel and just reuse some things.
Give it time. Like,
Yeah.
ladies, it's going to take time because we are basically breaking through a barrier with parents. Because sometimes parents are like, look, my child will figure it out. And then by the
Right.
time they realize, you know what? They're not figuring it out. Now they're like, okay, who do I call? But because you've been at top of mind, and they've seen like your posts here and there, and even when they were just like, I wasn't really thinking about it, all of a sudden, oh, I need one. Oh, okay, this is who I can get in touch with because they've seen you, they heard about you, they get small snippets, things that you're sharing. So that's what makes us more appealing, I should say, than like a big business. Like, okay, they're going to go to Sylvan. Who wants to drive to Sylvan? Who wants to drive to Huntington and all any of those tutoring facilities? No one wants to get in their car and drive. They would love to have in person. But now you don't even have to worry about that. You can online and you got someone that knows the content, knows how to break it down, and this is how much it costs. So it's never a one and done. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And even if you guys have created posts, repurpose them. You know, don't think like, oh, someone's going to see it and they're going to call me out on it. We are the ones that keep sabotaging ourselves. They're going to call me out on it. No, they're not. If they have that much time on their hands, that means you should just hire me for your tutor a long time ago. What took you so long? If you've seen my post multiple times, just repurpose and just keep moving forward. You're moving in the right direction. It just takes parents time to think.
What platform is everybody using in terms of, I know you had mentioned Tutorbird. I don't know if you're still using that. Is anybody using like anything? Because I was through my teacher project, I was Tutor Boss, which I'm not thrilled with, and I don't really know it that well. And I'm starting to get charged for that. And I'm like, for what? I don't have anything on there. So they
Mhm.
sent me a spreadsheet of it, which I have to go through and look at. And I'm like, I didn't send any email, like nothing filtered through the funnel in terms of sending out emails and collecting emails. Like I didn't get any leads. So I'm not sure. So I have to go look at that. But I mean, it was a minimal charge, but I'm not going to be paying, like what, even a $12 a month, which was this, for nothing. Um,
Mhm.
so I'm trying, like right now, the two clients I did get weren't even from there. It was just like we kind of just did it off through Messenger, through, text message, whatever. But I'm not sure if there's a better way because I'm meeting with my coach tomorrow and he's like, oh, what other platforms are you looking at? So I want to be able to have something to that I'm looking into. So I can come prepared.
Yeah. Well, I'd use Fonz, and actually Eric and I have a meeting next week. He's the one that I interviewed like a while ago, or maybe it was last week, no, in my mind. Um, that he's actually going to give us almost like 100 days of using Fonz for free. So
Okay.
you can try it out. So he's working on the link for me, but we're gonna see if we can figure out a date and a time and to release it. So you guys can try Fonz out just to see if that works for you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been, I mean, I probably would have joined Fonz had I not already subscribed to TutorBird before I met Audrey. And I've had no issues with TutorBird. I mean, when I do have questions, their customer service is amazing. I have a registration page on my website. I know you don't have a website yet, but I just went when I have new clients, I just direct them to my website and they register. And I mean, I'm happy with that program too, for
Okay.
the invoicing and scheduling and everything.
Okay.
So I mean, between Fonz and TutorBird, I mean, those are two different platforms. You can come prepared to talk to them with, say that you're looking
Okay.
into both of them.
How are price points? Are they? Because I'm like hurting right now. Um, price
15
don't-
or
points for
16 for TutorBird.
15 or 16. Okay.
I don't remember
But
how much. It's not much, and they also have, like, when you're new, I think they give you 1 or 3 months for free. I
Okay.
forget which one. And I don't even know if I'm paying monthly or if I paid for it a year in advance, but it's, you know, there's a price, but I think it's nominal.
So when you get somebody, say through Facebook or LinkedIn or somebody, then you just direct them right through there. Is that how that works? You
Well,
direct them, like how
like
does that
for
work?
TutorBird or for Fonz?
Either one. So like when you, if whatever you're using, if you just get a personal person like
Yeah.
off the street, do you like say here, book through this?
No, I mean, I do the work myself. I mean, I
Okay.
schedule, like I talk to them and I find out when they're available and I do all of that myself. However,
Okay.
it is designed with a parent portal and a student portal. So parents and or students can go in and schedule themselves. I just don't use that feature because I'm not busy enough. I mean, I just have a
That's
personal conversation.
what kind of scared me. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm like, oh, here's my calendar. Like, here's book in here. And I'm like, oh, I'm not ready for that yet.
right.
Okay.
So
I like
I
to have a
use
meet and greet beforehand.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
definitely.
I
Definitely.
use
How is Fonz?
TutorBird.
Is that,
Hey,
what's
Beth.
that?
I use TutorBird also, and
Okay.
I have really now I haven't looked into puns, so I can't tell you how it compares to what they offer, but I've really appreciated my subscription with them. So they host a website for you for free, and
Okay.
so I went on probably Namecheap or somewhere and paid what, $4? No, I paid for 2 years. So I paid, like $20 of my domain, mathmentortutoring.com. And TutorBird, I was able to whatever their process was, they had to walk me through it. But so if you put in www.mathmentortutoring.com, it takes you to my website hosted by TutorBird, but it doesn't have their name in the website link, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I pay $15 a month, and it includes hosting my website. It includes my invoicing. It includes my calendar. And I just saw an email today where they're connecting to, I don't have the name of it, but it's like a Zoom type platform. And so I haven't looked at the details to see, is that an additional fee or is that going to be part of what I'm paying for?
Okay.
But that's exciting to think they're going to also, there's the possibility of them also hosting my video conferencing.
Okay.
That'd be good.
That sounds, how do you spell Fonz? Fonz, what is it?
FONS.app.
Fons. Okay.
And that's more expensive. That's like 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
like
good to
for
know. And
me,
I
I
guess,
just stuck with it because of the security part. Because I had
right.
like 2 disputes. I think I mentioned that to you guys. I won both disputes. I knew it was gonna happen. So like if anyone like comes on there, I just want to make sure that there is like with their system that they will actually do the dispute for you. All you had to do was just turn in like that I actually had a appointment for that person. That's all I had to turn in, and Fonz did all the paperwork and sending all the stuff, and but that again down the line. Like for
Right,
me,
right.
TutorBird, when I first started, didn't have the invoicing. And that's what I didn't want to do invoicing. They just had invoicing. So they have changed since then. So that's the one thing. Like as you go through stuff, like it's never linear. It's never going to be like, oh, I do here. This is step one. This is step two. This is step three. Because your step one could be different from Beth's step one. And Jen and Lee's step one is going to be different from Heidi's step one. So everyone's going to be different. So when you go through these platforms and you're like, all right, this is definitely, I feel good with TutorBird, stick with TutorBird. Don't worry about fonts. I just like to give you options, but not too many options that will confuse you.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
it sounds
whole
like they
premise of
both
this.
have really good customer service. And
Mhm.
I think that's really important when choosing a platform as well,
Exactly.
because some things aren't so intuitive, and you need to get support. And I found that the support I've gotten was really good. So, I mean, if you're looking into something altogether different, and that's just one thing you want to look into as well.
No,
Mhm.
I appreciate it. Can you get your domain through them, or do you have to connect it to some, like, do you
You
get,
can use TutorBird for a domain. So before I went to Namecheap and got my .com, then my domain was www.mathmentortutoring.tutorbird.com, something like that.
Mhm.
But it has the .tutorbird, and so you still can have a free website. It'll just have .tutorbird before the .com.
okay,
And then something else I really like is when I've completed a session with a student, then I go in the TutorBird calendar and mark the attendance. So I mark present, and then it lets me put in session notes. And I just put in some quick notes. We covered lesson, which I work with homeschool students, so I'm presenting their lessons. So we covered lessons 98 and 99. We went over the notes and the practice problems. Lesson 100, we only covered the notes. Their homework for this week is yada yada. So when I get a reminder, so my for example, my Monday student, on Sunday, I get a reminder in my email from TutorBird that I will be working with that student on Monday. And it also brings up those lesson notes that I put in. So I have a quick review right there of what did we cover last Monday, that I can glance at it. Of course, I already have it written on paper too, but it's nice that it's just right there. And when I put those lesson notes in, if I click a box, those lesson notes go to the parent and the student's emails. So those are options. Or it can just, if I don't click the box, then they just show up for me. But I like it to go to the parents, because then I'm giving the parent, what are your child's assignments until I see them again? Because it's homeschool kids.
And since both of you guys do elementary, like, and I think also Michelle does elementary, and both of them do TutorBird, like you can probably easily connect.
yeah,
I'm imposing. I'm sorry.
yeah,
But like you
no,
guys
no,
can
not at all.
connect and also maybe share your screen so that Jennifer can actually see like all the things, and maybe something might spark up and like, oh, I never thought I needed that.
Yeah,
So that's another collab that you guys can do if you
absolutely.
want.
Now, do you work with groups of students, or how do you do your delivery in terms of your homeschool students? How does that work?
For me, I work with individual students. I've offered to work with a class of students at a particular co-op. But I ended up only working with one of them. But I find it's easier to work with them one-on-one, Because are you familiar with homeschool families?
Not, but
Have you?
I am trying to like, reach some groups because homeschool groups because I'm actually retiring from the classroom and I think it's great because I don't want all my business to be at night,
Right.
after school. Like I'm retired, like I want something to do during the day. I don't want to be like, okay, now all my friends are coming home from school and they're done for the night and I'm working all night long, so
Right.
um
So something about homeschool families is that a lot of homeschool families participate in co-ops, and a co-op will meet once a week. And so we kind of do our work at home all week, and then we meet. A lot of co-ops are on Fridays. But some of them meet different days of the week. But anyway, when you come to co-op for that one day, you're kind of going over what you've done for the week and doing some activities with it and that kind of thing. But of all the subjects, I've been a homeschool mom for 15 years, and what I find is of all the subjects, math is the one that gets put on the back burner because the other subjects integrate. You can take what they're learning and their writing skills and have them write a fabulous paper for their history and do a big presentation where they dress up and do faces of history, and all of this, and all these things integrate so nicely, but math doesn't integrate with all the other subjects. And so math is the one that that gets set aside. They're staying on top of everything all school year because they've got to have it ready for co-op each week. There's that accountability, but math, if we have time, we do it. If not, so they get to this part of the school year and we're wrapping up, finishing up for the year and everything but math, and some kids are further behind than others because some parents are just not, some are not as comfortable. Some of them are stretched so thin, they don't have time for refreshing their memory on. And when you're teaching, I had 3 kids at once. I've graduated 2, so now I have just the one. But, when you've got multiple kids and you're teaching your child every subject, it just stretches you really thin. And so that's the subject. So when you work with them, you may have them in chapter 5 at this part of the year. Just put it aside. And so I had a mom contact me yesterday or Monday. I just sent her a message and said, "How are you doing?" I got that from you, Audrey. I just sent a message and said, "How are you?" And she was like, "By the way, could you possibly my child's going to be taking standardized tests in 2 weeks. Can you meet with her 3 days next week to get her ready?" She's on chapter 5 and struggling, and I've got to cram in all that she needs in 3 one-hour sessions next week. So I'm trying to prioritize and figure out what I'm focusing on with her. But there you go. Maybe more than you wanted to know.
No, it's very interesting. And if we can connect at some point, I'd be interested in finding out more about that. So I appreciate that. But you've got this. You can teach it. You can get her ready for that test. You got it.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. And I've worked with her enough to kind of know what her strengths and weaknesses are. I'm just kind of choosing what to spend those 3 hours on. So hoping to get the most mileage out of our hours.
There you go. Yeah, it's just going to take a little, but at least you kind of also summarize what you've been doing. So that's helpful because that was going to be my next thing. I'm like, so what are you doing? But you already did it. You told us.
Yeah.
The one other is Heidi, if you're still there. I'm not sure. Sorry, I muted you, but I'm not sure if you're
I'm
there.
here.
Oh, there you are.
I'm here. I'm just driving soccer kid around my daughter.
Oh, okay.
But I can talk. I don't know. I'm just listening.
Okay. So how are things going with you?
Good. kind of the same. There was a lot of end of the year for high school math. I had a lot of students that were calling for like desperate help for one last test. And some of them succeeded, but a lot of them I met with, and there were like Algebra 2 kids who didn't even know Algebra 1 skills. And I met with them once and I got an email saying they failed the test and they didn't call back, but I'm like, man, that kid really needed to take Algebra 1 over. So that was a little discouraging, but I had to remember this is the way it is. You know, it's just discouraging that there's so many kids that are so far behind this time of year trying to, and then I have to remember some of them, they just need to pass. I've got a senior in chemistry and she hates it. And she failed it last year and she just needs to pass. And that's how I feel about chemistry. I don't feel that way for her. I feel that way about chemistry for her. I don't think she's ever going to use chemistry. I just want her to get through it. And I know that's how some people feel about math. And so I just have to accept that. I don't feel that way, but I can feel that way about chemistry for my daughter, who's really a language girl, you know?
And that's fine. Like, don't let it, please, if anything, when you do, because I get those like, oh, she failed the class, so she has to take the class over again. Well, we're not miracle workers. Like, there's only so much. Go ahead.
The one boy I only met with once, and I did meet with him for 2 straight hours, you know, but he was failing, and then he failed the test. But I only met with him for 2 hours, and it was an Algebra 2 test, and literally he did not know Algebra 1 skills. So I was trying to have him practice Algebra 1 skills, thinking maybe he could, but you know, he just didn't have. And then I don't know what they're doing, but I had one girl come to me. She had a 42 in the class, and I'm still seeing her. She's coming twice a week. I didn't have the desperation in the beginning of the year, but now it's like these folks, a lot of them are desperate for help because it's the end of the year and their kids are failing. So
right. And that's the thing, is just try to be open to it. But the one thing, just please remember, you're not a miracle worker. There's times people think that, oh, I paid, so my child should pass. No. You know, did your child study and try to, you know, really apply what we just learned? But I worked with your kid for 2 hours. I'm not a miracle worker.
Well, she you know, she wasn't complaining. It was a real quick text, and they live halfway across the country, and she just said, you know, I just want to let you know Parker failed and his test, and I just said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me know if there's anything else I can do. And I didn't hear from him again, but I had to self-talk to myself, but I'm not letting it bother me. But you do feel a little jolt, like, oh boy, could I have helped more? But I don't really think I could have. I don't know if anyone could have, when his skill level was so low.
Yeah, you could have helped back in September or November. You know?
Yes, that's true.
So it's not you. I hate to say it, but it's not you. So it's like, let me just do what I got to do. Right.
And I've had to be really flexible, and I am okay being flexible because I actually asked for some flexibility if my kids have track meets or different things. And I've had kids playing 3 different sports, not my own children, but the kids I tutor are playing lacrosse, soccer, and track. And it all depends on the weather, and things get changed. And then I had a mom ask me yesterday, now she has driver's ed lessons from 4 to 6. Can we? And I'm just really being flexible. And I don't mind it. I am thinking, though, I'm more thinking about next year. How am I going to set this up? And I need to carve out some time where I'm not going to tutor, like around the dinner hour. Because this year I was just kind of seeing, I'm trying to just take in all I can just to see what happens. But, and I want to try some, like the fonts I'm interested in trying.
Okay. Yeah, because
I'm not excited about technology, but I know it's something I need to do because I still send parents a text with the amount of time and the amount of the cost, and then they are paying me. So that takes a little bit of time. So it's like an invoice. I mean, it's a text and it's short. It's the amount of time and the money. And then they pay me, and no one has stiffed me yet, which is good. Sometimes I have to remind them, but they all have paid. So that's good.
Okay. Yeah. So the technology part. So that's why, even though we're here for the founders meeting, this is like for everyone, that this is around the time when you start thinking about how things are going. Like do some evaluation, like self-eval, and just say, okay, I definitely liked this. I'm definitely going to put this in my terms and conditions. Or if there was a situation that you're like, I am not doing that again, then you know what's your barrier. Like, okay, it was great for me to do back to back, but I'm not going to do that anymore for my schedule. If I do, I'll just do one set of back to back and then let me put like a 15-minute break in there. Let me organize your times a little bit better. I know some people want to do something for the mornings more so than the evenings. Sometimes it's kind of hard to do because you don't know what's going to be attracted to you. And yes, like Jennifer said, I would love to do something more in the mornings than in the evenings. But sometimes, like, it depends on your age group. Well, you have the younger ones, but a lot of them are going to be in school during the time that you're going to want them. And if we are going to be doing, like Beth mentioned, like homeschool, or, that's like a different world. But now they got some micro schools that are popping up lately. I don't know if it's my algorithm that I'm doing, but I'm starting to see more people saying, oh, I'm starting up a micro school. And I'm like, oh, okay. Do you need tutors?
I've seen that word. What is that exactly?
It's almost like someone's just doing a school, but I'm wondering if it's accredited. That's the only thing. That's my only thing. But I have to do research on it, but I wasn't going to do that now because I'm doing a lot. So that's something that I was going to research like for the summer, to be honest with you, because right now I'm like, let me see if I can get my membership together. Let me see what I can do for my podcast. Let me see what I'm doing with my current students. And I thought I was going to have like a nice chill summer. Yeah, no. Now everybody's like, oh, we're going to stay. We're going to keep it going. I'm going to keep what going? But I guess I got to figure out what the what is. But for the most part, it's like there's some other type schools and I just don't know if they're accredited. That's the only thing that I'm just cautious about. But they're starting to pop up. I'm starting to see more in my alignable feed.
Every
Yes,
state, I don't know what micro schools are, so that's something I need to look up also. If it's something within the realm of homeschooling, every state has their own laws regarding homeschooling. And that might be something that fits under that umbrella, so to speak. And if it does, homeschooling does not have to be accredited. The curriculum we use for homeschooling does not have to be accredited. Those are restrictions imposed on government-run schools and schools that are overseen by the government in some way. Like even private schools, I don't know if they have to have accredited or not. But when my youngest was getting speech therapy through the public school system, when we were first getting that set up, she was 3 years old. And I was saying, we were meeting with them and they were saying, so she can come through early intervention to our preschool. And I was like, no, we homeschool. I don't need to send my 3-year-old. We just need speech therapy. And they were like, so is your curriculum accredited? Is it research-based and all of this? And I'm going, she's 3. She's 3. We learn through play. I don't need accredited for a 3-year-old. But they, the school system doesn't realize that homeschooling does not have to have accredited. So if micro schools falls under the umbrella of homeschooling, it doesn't have to be accredited in some states. Now, again, some states are more strict than others. Alabama and Mississippi are the only homeschool laws that I'm familiar with. And we don't have to have accredited.
Yeah, for us in Maryland, they use the Saxon and they have to complete it. And they still have to, any kind of state assessments, they still have to go and take their state assessments, and all the work that they're getting, it has to be accreditation. So they have to pass a final exam. So you're right. Like every state is completely different. So
Yeah, we don't have those rules at all.
mhm. Yeah. So, all right. Don't want to hold up. I feel like I haven't heard too much from Jenna Lee. I'm so sorry. She's like, I'm just here. I did say something in the beginning.
No, I'm
Um,
actually learning a lot from all
okay,
of these insights. So
okay,
I'm enjoying
okay,
today's session. So don't worry
okay,
about it.
okay. Um, so for the most part, I just want to say by June 1st, I will be closing that Facebook group and we will be moving into the Wilo, but I'm going to do some more research about putting you guys into like the founders tab. As I mentioned earlier, it's not going to be open to the public and just random people just going to come in there. They still going to have a conversation with me. They're still going to have to like basically fit in with us. And the way we are, we're very relaxed. We're very chill. We're there to be supportive. I'm working on a course. So when people are coming, before they come into the membership, I want them to do the course so I don't feel like I have to talk and say the same things over and over and over again. But I'm going to be opening that up and I'm actually going to go live in on my TikTok, which is the You Can Tutor one. That's my business one. I finally got my 1,000 yesterday. So I can actually go on that thing.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Good gosh, craziness. And so many bots. So many. But we got that. And so now I can like feel comfortable um coming in and doing that. And we do have June the 25th. I was able to get Shamira Starr, who's like a social media marketing specialist. I call her a guru because she's down to earth, keeping it real. If there's anything on social media, I'll put a reminder. We're going to be doing that in June. So it's almost like a Q&A type thing. What are questions that you have? And just like what Jennifer was saying earlier, like that making that transitioning from like being in the classroom, just being told what to do and thinking outside the box to now you have to take ownership for everything you do. You always have a tendency you want to take on so much in the beginning. There's a process with all this. Step by step. First thing, let people know that what you're doing, I'm in existence. We'll figure out social media step by step. Next Tuesday, Lynette and we're going to be live inside the group, or a Zoom call talking about Canva. So if you wanted to know, like, just basic, how to do a post, just keeping it simple, people. That's all we're doing. And eventually we'll kind of progress because you can do, if you have Canva Pro, you have up to like 5 free websites you can do on Canva Pro. So like what Beth said with her domain name, you can transfer your domain name into Canva and it'll still say, whatever your business name.com, whatever your domain was.com. It won't have the Canva piece on there. I know for me, I just did a freebie with Canva just to see what it was like. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of easy. It's not that bad. So be on the lookout for that, to all these how-tos. But I'm trying not to overwhelm. Keep it simple. First thing you need people. You have to talk to your people. So that means we need to know who our niche is. And I think we got that down pat. Now we just have to figure out ways just to be top of mind. Just keeping it simple. Put a simple post out. Put a reel out. If you've done those before, it's time to repurpose them again. Okay? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is supposed to be just want to do something so people know. And there's one gentleman I have to meet early tomorrow morning. And he was like, yeah, let me show you my website. And it has everything about him except for his blood type and what's he like to do, on long weekends. That was the only two things I was missing. So I got to break it down to him and say, it's not about you. It's about your parents. It's about your students. If you have them older, speak to them. The more that they feel like they're being heard, being seen, and being understood, the more they're going to want to buy from you. That's it. So
You know,
we just have
can
to
I
be
can I
open.
share what I heard on a podcast today? Or it wasn't a podcast. It's from the life coach school I'm in. She had something on marketing, and she talked about her copy, that she used to do real formal, kind of professional sounding copy when she was trying to sell her programs. And she had a time where no one bought, and she couldn't figure it out because she knew the people would want this. So then she said she figured out that copy was better. I thought this was good advice. She said, you know, when you see a really good movie or you buy a really great product and you tell all your friends, like, you have to go see this, you have to buy this. She said, that's the kind of copy that you want to go in with, that same energy when you're trying to write your copy. Like, if you know you can help kids, you want to write copy in a simple language that tells people how great it is, you know, without bragging, without that. But there, instead of being real formal, it's more like, how do you tell your best friend, like, you've got to go get this thing, it's so good, here's what can happen if you use this thing. I don't know, I thought that was good advice when you think about sitting down to write copy, to just be like talking to your best friend or talking to a neighbor, telling them how great something was, or how useful something might be, but just to even go in with the energy or the belief, like, this is really valuable and helpful to people, and I can't wait to tell people about it. It just makes it more fun to write, maybe.
And it's that confidence. Like, you should feel confident in what you're doing because this is a part of you.
Yeah, it does. I think that it sounds kind of woo woo, but the belief and the confidence you have, it somehow comes out in the print. Like, I don't know what it is, but I know I feel differently when I'm writing something, and I feel that way versus where I just am forcing myself to write something.
Right. Because you
I don't-
believe in your product. Well, we don't have a product, and that's what makes it even harder because we are a service business.
Right.
And it's hard for people to wrap their heads around certain prices and certain ways because you're a service business. Where your product, it's easy. Oh yeah, this is $100. This is like $2. You know, you can easily put a price on it and people can sell or do comparison prices. But when it comes to us for tutoring, it's also that education piece. A lot of people do not believe in education, but they want their kids to be successful, but you don't believe in education. Like, I still have people, and believe it or not, my friend caught the other day, called it book learning. Oh yeah, enough of that book learning. I'm like, pause, what? This is 2024 and we live in Maryland. What are you talking about? So it's like, yeah, but are you giving your child some skills? I'm not sure if we're still friends after my discussion with her, but I'm like, are you giving your child some skills to help them in their next stage of life? You're looking at your child right now as a 7-year-old, or you're looking at your child right now and you're like, I can't believe he's going to be in high school next year. Yeah, time flies, but you got to develop their skills. If they don't know how to clean up after themselves, they don't know how to advocate for themselves, they're going to struggle. So sometimes it's not just, okay, you want to call it book learning, but you also got to tell them some other things. So, but not going to keep you guys. I'm so sorry. Just wanted to kind of tell you, June 1st, I'm going to close out that Facebook group. I will share the link once again to join the WILO. I'm going to see if I can tweak some things so you guys can see the founders part, because just in case people come in, I don't want them to see our stuff, you know, so I'm going to try to move. You're still going to have the YouTube playlist. So any of the things that we do, that's not going away. That's still going to be access just to us. So anyone else, they'll have like a different playlist, and that's perfectly fine. Okay.
So how will we get notices? Like right now, I get my notifications for this group through Facebook. So how will we get our notifications?
So once you're already in, I'm going to because I have to put you guys under the founders. That's why you didn't get the notification for this one, because I forgot to put you guys into the founders tab. So Michelle was like, yeah, I didn't see it. And I'm like, oh, because I didn't put you guys in the founders tab. So that's user error. Me. Take full blame on that one. So once you get that, then the messages should be going to it should be going to your email. So that's what we got, because that's what you're using to enter in.
I
Okay.
suspect
And
there's also a notifications option on the site as well that you
there
can
is.
toggle on and off. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I have to put you in the tab.
Yeah.
But once I do that, it's going to get straightened out. So that's why I got to get used to it too. But I have
Audrey,
to
is
get
that-
out of Facebook. This is ridiculous. Yes.
Is the 100 days free with Fonz just for our group, or are you telling us about that, or is that something we contact Fonz about and it's for anyone?
He's doing a promotional, but he's going to give us a link so you don't have to go running all over the place to try to find it. So that's
will
what
you
we're going to
kind of
talk
keep
about.
us posted on that?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I don't have to contact Fonz then. I can
No.
wait to hear from you. Okay,
You
I'll
can
do
wait.
that.
All right. Perfect. All righty.
Thank you.
Not a problem. So if anything, you got Michelle, you got Beth. If you want to talk more about TutorBird, if you want to talk more about Fonz, I'll do a Fonz. But the next thing will be on Tuesday. Lynette and I are going to work a little bit with Canva, try to work on posts. And then on this Saturday will be a collab work day. So if you want to join me 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that if you want to do some working on some things, or if you have some questions that we didn't even get to today that you want to ask, just come on over. And if no one can make it, that's fine. Just let me know. I'm still going to be there. I'm still going to work because I got to get these courses and all this stuff done. All right.
I'm actually
Right.
tutoring at that time, so I will not be able to be there, but
Okay.
it was nice seeing everybody.
Yes, same here. And again, if you guys feel like you have questions, please ask. Do not be silent. Yes, I'm having a little flash right now. So do not be silent.
And Jennifer, if you want
turning
me to share
52.
some other ideas on reaching the homeschool community, just you can message me and we can chat.
Okay, so you message in the U Tutor group in there? Or
Facebook,
okay.
probably.
Facebook
so Beth-
Messenger, Bowen.
Okay.
I'm interested in like jumping in that discussion too. So Beth,
Yeah.
I'll message you as well. I'd love to get some homeschool hours. It's
Yeah.
just a hard group to get into, not being a homeschooler myself or teaching
Being in there.
homeschooling. Yeah.
Well, and it really is, you know, I'm there. I've been a homeschool mom for 15 years
Yeah.
and I still have very small group that I work with, but I can give you my ideas
Yeah.
that I have.
No, it's good to talk to someone on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll message you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, ladies.
Thank you.
Sure. Have a good evening. And I'm going to get myself ready so I can go live in 15 minutes. Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.